Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be doing an honest review on the HiKNiGHT H2 Pro dual motor e-bike. HiKNiGHT reached out and asked if I'd review their bike and I said sure, why not? So stick around as we look at some of the features, and if you're interested in purchasing, I'll even have a pretty steep discount for you towards the end. Alright, before we get this thing on the road and on a few trails, we'll start with the unboxing and assembly process. The bike came well packed and in a pretty sturdy box. Honestly, I'd say the hardest part of this entire assembly process was getting the box open. But as you can see, once the box was open, the bike itself was about 85 to 90% pre-assembled. In addition to the bike itself, HiKNiGHT threw in some free accessories and even included a really cool multi-bike tool to help with the assembly of the bike. First thing up was assembling the handlebars, which was a pretty easy process. Then I had to throw on and secure the front tire using the tools that were included with the bike. Then I attached each of the pedals, making sure that they were tight on each end. The only other item that you could connect if you wanted to was the front fender. It does come included with the bike, but I decided not to include it for my own riding purposes. And that was basically it. Honestly, the entire assembly process was pretty easy. It may have taken me around 30 to 40 minutes or so for the full assembly. I would also recommend going through all the other bolts just to make sure that they are tightened down. There were a few bolts on other parts of the bike that were loose for me, so I just tightened them up and I was good to go. Alright, now I'll quickly go over some of the bike features. First up, I'll show you how to remove the battery. As you can see, it comes with a key that basically unlocks the battery. It snaps back into place pretty easily, so no major issues there. You'll also notice that there is a charge port so you can charge your battery while it's in place. The bike comes with disc brakes on the front and rear and also includes 4-inch Chow-Yang fat tires, which are great for absorbing bumps in the road or on light trails. You also get Shimano gear shifters and a Shimano cassette. The fork gives you pretty good front suspension and also comes with a lockout feature. When it comes to the display, navigating and using the display is pretty easy. Using the control pad on the left, this is where you're going to increase or decrease your pedal assist levels. It's also where you will turn on the front and rear lights of the bike. This is also where you're going to turn on your blinkers, your signals if you decide to use those. The control pad is really helpful in just allowing you to navigate a lot of the features that come with the bike on the display itself. As I mentioned a second ago, the bike does come equipped with a front light and a rear brake light. It also includes turn signals, which makes me think that this is going to be a pretty good commuter bike for those of you that like to do some hybrid riding on paved roads and maybe on some light trails. Alright, so now what we're going to do is take this thing out on the road. What I'll probably do is spend some time riding on the street, the paved road, and then I'll spend a little bit of time on a trail that's near my house, and we'll see how this thing performs, and I'll sort of give you a comparison of how this rides on a paved road versus a trail, and at the end I'll talk a little bit about who I think this bike is for. We are on the road. Right now I am pedaling using the pedal assist feature. If you didn't know already, this thing has a hub motor in the back tire and also a motor integrated into the front tire. It's a dual motor e-bike. You can control whether you use the rear motor alone or both by hitting this red button right here. Right now I'm just using the rear motor, plenty of torque. It is a cadence sensor, and again, you're using a hub motor here. So you will notice with these hub motors and the motor in the front tire that you're going to feel a lot more torque. It's going to be much more responsive, so as soon as you start pedaling, you're going to feel that extra assist that you're getting, and the pedal assist feels pretty good. You do have the shifters here if you wanted to upshift, downshift. It's an e-bike, so you don't necessarily need it all the time, but it could be helpful if you're trying to use the pedal assist to get up some hills. But so far, even just using the rear hub motor, you feel a lot of power. Right now I'm on pedal assist level 3. If you go all the way up to pedal assist level 4, I think you can max out at about 38 miles per hour. I found that it's a little bit easier to get to the 38 miles per hour when you have both of the motors engaged. So maybe what I'll do is switch to the full throttle for now, and I'll use both motors just so you can get a sense of how much power this thing actually has. Alright, so now I am using the throttle. What I'm going to do is switch to I'm going to go up to pedal assist 5, and then I'm going to hit this throttle, the dual motors, and let's see what this thing does. Alright, as you can probably tell and hear, this thing functions a lot more like a like an e-moto, like a motorcycle, using those dual motors, you definitely feel a lot more kick and a lot more of the torque with both of those motors engaged. Right now, again, I'm on pedal assist level 5. This thing is pretty much maxed out on the pedal assist, and using both motors, we're flying, we're cruising. Right now we're at about 30 miles per hour. Whew, slow down for the speed bumps. Yeah, you could easily, and I'm gonna go up a little bit of a incline here, you could easily hit mid-30s on this thing using pedal assist level 5 and both of the motors. This thing is hauling, a lot of fun. When it comes to the brakes are good. What I will say is, because this is such a heavy bike and because you're likely going to be going pretty fast on this thing, you know, upwards of 30 miles per hour, it takes a while to stop. So if I hit both brakes right now, they work well, but it does take some time to actually come to a full stop. So don't expect that you're going to stop on a dime using these brakes. The brakes are good, but again, based on the weight of the bike and how fast it goes, it's going to take you a minute to actually come to a full stop. When it comes to handling, steering, sort of navigating, and even absorbing some of these bumps that are in this trail right now, the bike's doing a really good job. It does have that front fork suspension, so it's absorbing a lot of these little bumps that are in the road right now really well. It's also got the 4-inch fat tires, which helps smooth a lot of those bumps out. So this thing's performing really well, it turns really well. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely a good commuter bike. I could see people using this to get around town, using it as a hybrid bike to run errands, get to and from the grocery store, or maybe even take it on some light trails. So what we'll do is we'll do that next. We're gonna head on to some actual dirt trails, see how this holds up on some more off-road terrain. All right, now we're gonna head onto a trail. I'm just gonna continue to use the throttle. I'm on pedal assist level 3 right now. See how this holds up on a pretty well-maintained trail here in my local area. How's it going? Okay, you got to see that. Just got to see a little horn in action. It's kind of convenient, actually. So I'm on a pretty well-maintained trail right now. Nothing too crazy about it. If you're into mountain biking like I am, you'd probably consider this a green beginner trail. And this bike is holding up just fine. I'm on pedal assist level 2 now. That front fork, the suspension on the front fork is doing a really good job at smoothing out some of these little bumps and roots that I'm riding over right now. I will say, if you're looking to use this for actual mountain biking, I probably wouldn't recommend it. Mostly because this is such a heavy bike that whenever you're using a heavy bike like this on more technical trails, you're going to put a lot of stress and pressure on those components, and it's likely going to lead to some wear out. So I would probably recommend just light trails for this bike. And again, it's doing a really good job at holding up on some of these lighter trails over here. I'm going to put this front fork to the test a bit. I know that there's a pretty big root coming up over here that I'll have to get over right now, so let's see how this does. Oh yeah, like nothing. Ate up that little root that was exposed and sticking out really well. And yeah, this thing holds up pretty well on trails itself. Try out some single track over here. Yeah, this thing definitely has more of a e-moto feel. I imagine this is what Sur-Ron riders feel like. Oops. I've never ridden a Sur-Ron, but this thing just hauls. A lot of fun. I would absolutely use this as a commuter bike to get around town, get around the city, run some errands. Again, you can see how quick this thing picks up with those dual motors that it has, one in the front, one in the rear tire. I'm only on pedal assist 4 right now, and yeah, this thing is fun, a lot of fun. So now that we've tested this thing out on the paved roads and on some actual trails as well, I'll give you my opinion about who I think this bike is for. So I mentioned it a second ago, but I would recommend this bike for somebody that's looking for a hybrid commuter. And what I mean by hybrid is someone that wants a bike that can get them around town, and also wants some light trails, emphasis on the light. I probably wouldn't take this thing on any more technical mountain bike trails. So anything above a green level trail, like the Blues, Black Diamonds, that kind of stuff, this thing shouldn't be on. You might be able to get away with it, but really you're just going to be putting your bike at risk of being damaged or breaking, especially some of the components on this thing. Some of the components are more entry level. You've got Shimano components on certain portions of this bike, but they're the more entry level basic Shimano components. So I would say this thing is definitely meant for more of commuting. So if you're looking for something to get you to work, get you around school, that sort of a thing, this bike is a ton of fun. And it's really nice that you have that, again, that dual motor feature. It also has the turn signals right here, left turn signal, right turn signal. You've got the front and rear light up here in case you're gonna ride at nighttime. And then you've got that horn that comes in handy as well. So yeah, definitely recommend this for somebody that's looking for that hybrid commuter bike. Again, getting around town, plus taking some light trails. Maybe if you're going camping and there's some fire road trails that you want to ride on, this would probably fit and serve that purpose really well. But overall, this is a really fun bike. I should also say it's pretty good value. It's one of the more affordable e-bikes on the market. So if you have a kid that's looking for their first e-bike and you don't want to be spending thousands of dollars, I think you can pick this thing up right now for just around $1,000. HiKNiGHT did send me a special code that you can use to get a discount on the bike. It will save you about $100. I think it's a $80-something discount. So if you're interested in purchasing one of these, picking one up, feel free to use that code. I'll throw it in the description of this video and in the comments as well. Yeah, save yourself about $100 on one of these bikes. But you know, again, solid bike, seems really well built, sturdy bike, has a lot of features that are more geared towards the commuters of the e-bike world. And it's nice that you have the fat tires and that front suspension to take you on some light trails as well. So that'll do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll answer them the best that I can. And shout out to HiKNiGHT for sending me this cool bike. Have a good one.